Salema. It's Comics and Shots, a completely improvised semi-comedic musing by Howard Stern's Mick the Nerd, aka YouTube and TikTok's Mick the Mac, aka Mick the Maverick, aka Gomez. Today's subject, Frank Castle the Punisher and Spider-Man. Two characters that have an interconnecting origin story. Well, Punisher's origin was he was started in Spider-Man. But they have similar problems. Well, not similar, inverse. And I'm going to talk mostly about Punisher, but let's talk a little bit about Spider-Man first. Spider-Man's problem is, well, Marvel knows what to do with the character. They're just afraid to, because they're thinking, oh, if we let Peter get married and have a child, and what more conflicts can we give him? Well, tons, actually, as proven by Superman having a child, or Barry Allen having a child, or Wally West having a child. Turns out, or Reed Richards having a child, turns out their lives of superhero-dom don't just stop happening. So, you know, stupid. Just stupid. And basically, it's all just them prolonging the inevitable outcome. That's the majority of Amazing Spider-Man. It's why I don't really buy it. I only read snippets here and there. Maybe if I get a free trial for Marvel Universe every now and again, or bumming off someone, I'll read some. But yeah, it's just basically one super long story about denying the inevitable. And sometimes I enjoy the occasional supervillain fights, but because it's based on delaying the inevitable, how can I truly enjoy it? Yeah. So that's the main problem with Spider-Man, in that editorial knows what to do with him, but they just refuse to because they're afraid to. Now let's talk about Frank Castle, the Punisher. That guy has a way different problem. Like, way different. With Spider-Man, they know what to do with that character. They just do. Even when they don't know what to do with that character. The Punisher, however, they've been slowly dropping the ball and picking the ball back up again with him for years, because Frank Castle, similar to Amanda Waller, like, they're both people with morally gray outlooks on life. And, you know, they end up crossing moral boundaries here and there. You know, but ultimately, they like, Amanda Waller has a purpose, and Frank Castle is a good man deep down. Then enter Garth Ennis, who decided to entertain the thought, oh, well, what if he was actually more of a sociopath and much more of a bastard? And then the argument started to happen. Some people think it's a logical progression of the character. Some people think it's a logical explanation for the character. Others think it's a bastardization of the character, including longtime writer Chuck Dixon. Yeah, it's complicated. And I feel that's probably the reason why we're not going to get a real Punisher series anytime soon, due to how complicated this character is. Like, with Harley Quinn, like, that's another character people can't agree on. Should she be with the Bat family? Should she be a supervillain? No one's sure, but it's nowhere near as bad as the Punisher. Like, no one can agree on the level of moral ambiguity for that character. Like, ugh. And especially, like, in, like, one of the later series where he was, like, just a full-on supervillain. I feel like I said this in Lobo quite a bit. I did this in my Lobo episode, but I'm talking more specifically about the Punisher, because they can't decide what to do with this character. Lobo has it better, because he's comedy. Punisher is supposed to be a straight-laced character that they have no idea what to do with. And we're just going to be arguing about how to write Punisher for the end of time. The end of time. The end of time. Yeah. Yeah. Like, should he, like, dial back a little? Be a little bit more of a Green Arrow type anti-hero? I don't know. I do not know. But, like, I feel they gotta do something. They gotta figure out something. Spider-Man, they gotta figure out to just pull the goddamn plug and write the stories as they're supposed to be goddamn written. Punisher, they gotta, like, figure out how to write him in a way that everybody can enjoy. It's kind of like Deadpool, where, like, after the original Fabian Nicieza stories, they kind of upped the comedy factor to the nth degree in a way that it just felt unrecognizable from the original comics, where he was like a somewhat serious anti-hero with a comedic edge. And they just upped, like, once again to the point where it's like you can't take him seriously, where it's like his morals were too screwy, and, you know, later stories have a balance of it. You know, like, especially with the introduction of his daughter, Ellie Camacho. It's Camacho, right? I like Ellie. But yeah, you gotta find balance with anti-heroes, despite the fact that they're known for being massively chaotic. And I know this can be seen as a sequel to my Lobo cancellation special, but vlog, but I feel it's a subject that continues to be needed to be talked about. You gotta find balance. You gotta figure out how to balance out characters, even if they're blowing up drug dealers and jigsaw-faced serial killers. Find the balance, or try to make it work. Either way, like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with a bear. Either way, like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with a bear. Donate if you're feeling nice. And always remember, praise be to the Blood Elk, fear the Stampopotamus, and death to Kronos. Beep. I can hold down my whiskey. It's drinking it that's weird. Have a night, folks.